What's going on, guys? This is Danny from Slow Restoration, and again we're in the Finding Fast Motorsports garage. And if we peek outside, here is a very cold, windy, wintry day, so we're stuck inside. We were going to do more work on the cab, painting, prepping, but it's just, for my conditions, it's too cold to do that right now, so we're just going to focus our attention on the frame here, the chassis, and get some more stuff accomplished on that. We have plenty to do with this, and we still need to get that truck over there disassembled, because we are actually using the wiring harness and the doors off that truck for this project. That truck did have power windows, so we need to strip that down. A couple other parts are being used from that too, the radiator support and stuff like that. So again, if you're new to the channel, we are taking this truck. We had that truck there. The cab is pretty much all that's left of it. It was a 2003 Chevy Extreme that was wrecked in the front. The frame was bent. It wasn't worth repairing. The cab does have some rust in it. So we had this truck, which was pretty much a bare frame with a cab sitting on it. It had a good frame. The cab was really decent. So we took that truck and made one good one. And we had that truck sitting around for a while, and we kept it around because of the power windows and stuff like that. So in a nutshell, that's our project going on here. Anyway, we got another big box in. All right, we got our bands cut off, and we got the top opened here. You can probably guess what it is at this point. It's our exhaust kit. This is all polished. I think it's actually 304 stainless steel tubing. You can hear that wind. It's just insane today. We turned our heater off just a couple minutes ago to start recording, and it's already dropping temperature in here, so we may have to turn that back on. Sorry, I apologize for the noise, but let's get this out of here and lay it out, see what we got. So this is what we have here. Like I said, we got two kits. I knew we're not going to use all of this on this truck, but we're always doing this type of project, so we'll use it on the next project. And one kit just wouldn't have been quite enough material to do this, so we got two kits in. That box has the same thing. Like I said, two straights, two 180s, two 45s, and two 90s. So let's start laying this out. Like, we have these V-band clamps that we're going to put on our headers. We have our X pipe, our polished stainless X pipe, and we have our polished stainless steel muffler. Everyone wanted to see two pipes kind of angled down out one side, like double barrel shotgun, if you will. So that's probably the way we're going to do it. It'll be, maybe a little quicker, a little bit different. But we'll have enough pipe if we do decide to do. I'm definitely going to do kind of the dumped on the angle, kind of sneaky right in the corner, at least on one side, maybe two sides. If we do one side, of course, it'll be two tips. So, oh, by the way, since we're back here, I did get the Bilstein shocks installed. They look killer on there. Definitely adds another color under here anyway. I don't think I really want any more colors. Just trying to finish it out with what we got here. We'll use this truck for example. I know most people are probably going to say come right through the roll pan straight out. I'm not a huge fan of that. It looks good on some vehicles. I don't think I want to do it on this truck. I really think we're probably going to do, like I said, nice tucked, pointed down, up out of the way. So you really, from the back, you shouldn't be able to see anything but the very exit of the pipe. If you ever want to check what series or stainless steel rather, it is, grab you a magnet. This is a 300 series stainless. It's not magnetic at all. This muffler I know is a 400 series. I think it's a 409 polished stainless. So over time this will discolor and possibly even get some slight coloration to it, like rusty color, but it's still stainless. It won't rot through. And you can keep up on it and keep it polished looking. But if we put the magnet on that, as you can see, that's definitely magnetic. dump 5 more gallons into this heater. This thing sucks up the fuel. But we did get 2 more boxes in, so we'll open these up while that heater is shut off so it's a little quieter. One of the big challenges with this, guys, that may not even be expected, is trying to keep parts ordered and coming in on time so it doesn't delay us on a project. When you're the only one here working, you got to do double and triple duty. Get these parts ordered in, make sure they're coming in, and make sure they're the right parts, and figure out what parts to even order. So anyway, let's open this up. This first box is okay. This is our Bilstein shocks for the front. We'll get those open in a second. I'm not even sure what this one is. Box in the bottom. Okay, it's our water pump. It's a Gates water pump. So we'll get this opened up and take a peek at it. Here we are. Came with new gaskets, new O-ring, new thermostat housing bolts. It's pretty nice. There's our new water pump hanging there. I'm not going to install it quite yet. I did not think ahead and actually clean up the bolts. So we'll glass bead those and get them painted, and then we can go ahead and get this mounted on there. But just thinking now, I might even spray it with that stainless paint just to keep it looking a little newer, longer, maybe cover up some of those scratches. But overall, looks good on there. One step closer. All right, we're gonna get these shocks installed, and these shocks are a little bit different than the normal shock. They have a snap ring in a groove on the shaft here, and normally you would put these washers on and just slip it on like that. This bushing, this is the bottom bushing here, would go on, and that would kind of sit in that pocket like that, and I would say that's correct. But because of that snap ring is kind of holding, you know, the top of this in place, that snap ring is capable of holding it as long as it doesn't open up and slide down over that shaft. So there's actually a counter bore in there, if you can see that. So this actually goes on, to me, upside down, and as it goes on, it actually goes down over top of that snap ring to keep that snap ring from opening up and slipping down. So that locks that snap ring in place. Again, to me, that's upside down. When you put your bushing on, get the right one here, you put your bushing on, that looks kind of funny to me, but that is the way they want it. So I guess if you're installing these on an S10, just pay attention to that. These aren't exactly like the factories. The factory on the Extreme trucks would have had a blue sleeve. We're getting ready to slip these shocks up in here, and as you can tell, that crossbar in the bushing has a bit of an angle to it, and we have enough room here to install these, so I'm not going to put it on the lift. But if you look underneath, there's some angle built into that A-arm, so you want to put it on the angle facing the right way. If not, if you put it on the wrong way, you'll be fighting against yourself for one, and you'll be trying to rotate that bushing in that or that sleeve crossbar in the bushing. So definitely make sure you have them rotated the right way, and it'll be much easier to install. All right, I'm gonna try and get away from this heater a little bit so it's a little bit quieter. It's honestly, it's so cold out now. It's about 14-15 degrees outside, and the wind's blowing so hard. I'm questioning how much longer it's going to be worth it to try and heat the garage and stay out here, but we're going to get as much done as we can. When I unboxed this muffler yesterday, it did have some damage to it. This side was the mild side, the other side was smashed in pretty good. Obviously, if you have a pipe expander, you can put it in there, but if you don't, you can take a smaller piece of pipe. There's a piece of 2.5 inch, put it down in there and just kind of use leverage and push on that, and that'll pop that dent right out. I can't do it with one hand, but let me set this camera down and we'll work that dent right out of there. As you can see, just with the leverage and working that around a little bit, it knocked that dent out pretty good. We can check fitment. this other piece of pipe. You see that goes in there fine, so we're good to go with that. We did get these front shocks completely installed. We got the top bushing tightened up. As you can see in there are shocks. You can see a little bit of it. Once the suspension's down with more of the weight, you really won't see much of the shock at all. But they're in there. Alright, so we're mocking up this exhaust system. My biggest deal here is, like I said, I'm trying to decide whether I want 245s or 290s like we have laying there to get from that side over to this side. I don't mind the 90s, but what I don't want to run into is later on, if I decide to change this transmission out and go with maybe a T56 or even a TKO 5-speed, if it is longer, I don't want to hug this cross member too close and have to modify my exhaust system. So I'm a big fan of trying to plan ahead as much as possible. And, you know, you can't plan ahead for every single circumstance, but like this transmission to me is questionable how long it's going to hold up. And if we do end up, I could just upgrade this transmission to another built MV 3500. Or, like I said, if we end up upgrading to a 6-speed, then we're probably going to have to move all of us back anyway. So, get a game plan of what to do here, and I'll fill you in when I'm done. This pipe will be straight back. This is the general location. I want that. We may move it back some. The muffler's probably going to sit in that neighborhood. It's actually no mistake if that truck is still in here and up on the lift. I can actually put that up. Obviously we don't have a body on this, but I can reference off that and see what kind of room we have and take some measurements off the frame. You know, I know we have a couple inches in front of this before the cab drops down, and I'll measure and see how far that drops down. But that's the general location the muffler's gonna sit. Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and call it here. It's just too cold. It's actually 6 degrees outside now, and it's just too hard to heat the shop. I was really hoping to get a little bit more done on this exhaust fab, but I guess we'll have to wait until tomorrow probably. Was able to get some stuff ordered, so have more parts coming in. I think actually they're coming in tomorrow. So as you can see, I had to go away for a little bit, and when we came back, the shop cooled down to 23 degrees, so it's pretty brutal. So thanks for tuning in. Have a good day.